Hollywood, the land of dreams, red carpets, and million-dollar smiles. But behind all the glitz and glamour lies something else. Something a lot less pretty. Ego, entitlement, arrogance. In a world where you're treated like royalty, it's no wonder some stars start believing their own hype. Today, we're pulling back the velvet curtain and revealing the most notoriously arrogant celebrities in Hollywood history. Buckle up, it's going to be a bumpy ride. 1. Kanye West. First up, you knew he had to be here. Kanye West, now known simply as Ye, an undeniable musical genius, yes, but humility, not exactly his strong suit. Whether it's interrupting Taylor Swift at the 2009 VMAs to declare that Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time.
Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time.
Or calling himself a god during interviews, Kanye's confidence often crosses into pure arrogance.
Where, just like that, when someone comes up and says something like, I am a god, everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was, a god.
In interviews, he's boldly declared himself the greatest artist that God has ever created. His outbursts, rants, and increasingly controversial statements have not only polarized fans, but even left fellow celebrities stunned. Love him or hate him, Kanye is the poster child for celebrity ego gone wild. 2. Amy Schumer. Next, we have Amy Schumer, a comedian who shot to fame with her edgy humor, and then faced serious backlash. Amy's rise was accompanied by accusations of joke stealing, and her responses to criticism were, let's just say, less than humble. Rather than engaging thoughtfully, she often dismissed critics arrogantly, sometimes even mocking those who dared question her.
Like, we were just kind of seeing, like, who would eat more bread, you know? It was like we weren't just kind of side-eyeing each other, like, I'm comfortable in my skin, you know? Like, I don't care about Hollywood. And,
One infamous incident involved a flight attendant asking her to move seats. Instead of handling it quietly, Amy took to social media, calling the attendant a bitch, drawing huge backlash for punching down on someone just doing their job. Turns out, fame doesn't always come with class. 3. James Corden. James Corden, the cheerful carpool karaoke king, or so it seemed until the mask slipped. Corden's reputation took a massive hit when stories emerged of him being consistently rude to waitstaff and service workers. In fact, he was banned, yes, banned, from the famous Balthazar restaurant in New York after allegedly yelling at servers over a simple mistake in his wife's meal.
As some of you may have seen, last week there were stories about me being banned from a restaurant. And at the time I considered,
And it's not just restaurant workers. Even fellow celebrities like Patrick Stewart have called out Corden's diva-like behavior at award shows. Behind that cheeky smile, many insiders claim, is a not-so-cheeky attitude. 4. Ellen DeGeneres. Once America's sweetheart, Ellen DeGeneres built her brand around the mantra, be kind. But behind the scenes, former staff members painted a much darker picture. Reports of a toxic workplace exploded in 2020. Former employees spoke of being fired over tiny mistakes, enduring bullying, and even being told not to make eye contact with Ellen.
Told from the very beginning, don't talk to Ellen, don't do this, you can't, go into her office. It was very nerve-wracking, very stressful. We all walked on eggshells all the time.
Stars like Brad Garrett and Leah Thompson didn't hold back, confirming that the so-called kindness was just an act. The fallout was so severe that her long-running talk show eventually ended. A shocking fall from grace, and a brutal lesson that in Hollywood, the truth does come out. 5. Chevy Chase. Comedy legend? Absolutely. Team player? Not so much. Chevy Chase has long been known for his arrogance and difficult behavior on set. During his time on Saturday Night Live, he feuded so viciously with cast members that he was banned from hosting for years. One famous incident involved a near-physical fight with Bill Murray right before a live taping.
So I had no problem with fights. I was ready to level him, and he was probably ready to scratch me up.
Later, on the set of Community, Chase clashed repeatedly with creator Dan Harmon and other cast members. His constant belittling, off-color jokes, and stubborn belief that he was the funniest man alive made him a nightmare to work with. The result? A tarnished reputation that even decades of legendary performances couldn't save. 6. Madonna. Madonna, the undisputed queen of pop, and arguably, queen of arrogance, too. The stories are endless. Staff members reportedly forbidden from making eye contact with her, personal assistants hired and fired for the smallest missteps, and backup dancers allegedly treated like peasants at court. Once, a dancer laughed during a rehearsal, and Madonna, furious, hurled a water bottle at them. And Lady Gaga herself, no stranger to fame and eccentricity, once remarked that Madonna was the most arrogant person she had ever met. You don't build a 4-decade career without toughness, but sometimes that toughness looks an awful lot like entitlement. 7. Christian Bale. Christian Bale, brilliant on screen, intense off-screen. During the filming of Terminator Salvation, an audio recording leaked of Bale screaming profanities at a crew member who accidentally walked into a scene.
Kick your fucking ass! I want you off the fucking set, you prick! Sorry. No, don't just be sorry. Think for 1 fucking second. The fuck are you doing?
The rant lasted several minutes and quickly went viral, shocking fans who had admired his talent. Bale later apologized, but the incident added to his reputation for being cold and difficult on set, thanks to his intense method acting style. While some praise his dedication to his craft, others see it as another example of how Hollywood fame can breed unchecked arrogance. 8. Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey has made being a diva an art form, and she's not even trying to deny it. From demanding entire rooms be filled with white candles and red roses to having assistants tasked with carrying her up flights of stairs so she wouldn't have to walk, Mariah's demands have become legendary. Perhaps her most famous moment of arrogance? In an interview, when asked about fellow singer Jennifer Lopez, Mariah responded simply, "I don't know her." A few words, but the shade was deafening.
Und was ist mit J-Lo? Die kenne ich nicht. Oops.
Mariah doesn't just accept the diva label, she embraces it. And at this point, it's basically part of her brand. 9. Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen's public meltdown in 2011 became one of the most infamous collapses in Hollywood history. After clashing with 2.5 Men producers, Sheen embarked on a bizarre media tour, coining catchphrases like winning and tiger blood, and declaring himself a warlock with Adonis DNA. His arrogance, wild partying, and drug use led to his firing and the eventual tanking of his career.
Just broke. I just snapped. I just melted. I just decided to take a stand. I just didn't know it was going to be that colorful.
What prompted that behavior?
It was 30 years in the business leading up to that, and then that culminated, I think, with the firing of the show, from the show.
At the height of his fame, Charlie truly seemed to believe he was untouchable. Spoiler alert, no one is. 10. Katherine Heigl. Last, but certainly not least, Katherine Heigl. Once one of Hollywood's brightest stars, Heigl managed to torch her career in record time, thanks largely to her own arrogance. After starring in the hit film Knocked Up, she publicly criticized the movie as being sexist, despite happily cashing the paycheck. Later, she withdrew her own name from Emmy consideration for Grey's Anatomy, claiming she hadn't been given material worthy of a nomination.
Then they consider and they decide who they're going to nominate and who they're not. And that year,
you said, "Don't submit me."
I said, "I'm not going to submit. I can't find
think that's
anything
very
I
honest.
feel good about."
The message was clear. She thought she was better than the projects that made her famous. Hollywood didn't take kindly to the attitude, and soon, Heigl's phone wasn't ringing nearly as often. So, what drives this kind of behavior? Why do so many stars fall into the arrogance trap? Now it's your turn. Who do you think is Hollywood's most arrogant celebrity? Was there anyone you were surprised to see on this list? Or maybe someone you think we missed? Let's talk about it down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you never miss another look behind the Hollywood curtain.